remittances from the diaspora. It is you guys. You are the drivers of our economy. Our economy relies on you. It's the dollars you send home that we use to pay our public debt. It's the dollars that you send home that we use to import products from across the world. It's the dollars that you send home that are running our embassies. Hence, you are a very important stakeholder in the economic development of our country. For those of us who rear dairy animals, the dairy cow, for it to give you milk, you must look after it. And if you don't, it will refuse to give you the milk. You must give it hay, you must give it dairy meal, you must give it lucerne. Nowadays, at home, we are supplying mattresses for cows to sleep on so that they don't feel cold at night. And some farmers are going to an extra mile to make sure the cows are happy and they produce milk, of playing country music of Ken Rogers and Don Williams to the cows so that they can produce milk. The diaspora brigade is our dairy cow for the Kenyan economy. We must look after you guys. And there is no way you guys are going to send your own money home for Kasongo to steal it. You will not agree. So we must correct the situation. You guys want nothing to do with corruption. I have talked to many of you since I came, and all of you have allergy to corruption. Isn't it? In fact, everybody I've had a chance to speak, they are telling me when they come to the airport how they are treated. When they go to Nyayo House, the way they are treated. And you guys cannot stomach it. We must deal with corruption in Kenya decisively. And they say the fish rots from the head. The problem we have in Kenya is the president is a leader of corruption in the country. State House is a crime scene. There are Asians there with briefcases every day, and he spends all the time with them. Sometimes he would keep me there as deputy president for 5 hours as he is talking to Asians, discussing deals. For us to deal with corruption in Kenya, we must start from the top, and then we come down. You guys must bring your money back home. Our country should stop borrowing money from other countries and borrow from you because you have the money. But you can only give us the money if you are sure we'll give it back to you, and if it will be spent prudently for the benefit of the country. And those are the things that we want to form the government together, so that we can have very practical programs that satisfy what you want. I have said, and I said in Texas, that you guys, going forward, working with us when we form government, we want you to form a very strong diaspora bank for your money, for your investment here, with branches in Kenya and all over the world. You guys have sufficient capital to start a big bank, and you have the right personnel to run that bank professionally. And you see what will happen. If you have a diaspora bank with branches in Kenya, all the properties you have bought in Kenya, you will use them as collateral to borrow money from that bank and invest here in America. But as it is today, all the plots and the land you have bought in Kenya cannot help you, because you are borrowing here from the banks here and they cannot accept Kenyan titles. Again, we need a discussion with you guys on how we vet developers and people who build houses for you and who sell you land, so that we eliminate the crooks who keep on conning you from time to time. We want to have a conversation that it is immoral and wrong to have double taxation. You cannot be taxed in America. After paying your taxes from your savings, you send money back home and then it's taxed again. That is a discussion we are going to have, so that the money you remit home must be exempted from double taxation, because you have already paid tax in your country of origin where you are working. We need to discuss, how do we encourage you to save at home? Can we have an incentive-driven package where we give you an interest rate that is higher than what you have here in America, so that you have the motivation to save your money back home, so that this money can be available for on-lending to other people and for government work, and your money is earning higher interest than your country where you are working. So I'm saying, I have come to start engaging with you. I don't want to engage you when we form government. I want to start this engagement mapema. So by the time we form government, because we are going to form government, already we have a plan in place for implementation. And that is why I want to create a mechanism for engagement with you people the way we are engaging today, so that we have a way we shall be engaging, so that you tell us what you want us to do. We also benefit from your experience in a country that is working. Devolution here is working. You know, I was here last night, it was raining. When we came out, you cannot even know it has rained because the drainage works. Huh? Kwetu ikinyesha, hata hutaki kwenda nyumbani. Because you are sure you need a mkokoteni to take you to your car. You know, we were here and it rained very heavily. By the time we went outside, you cannot even know there was rain. We need to learn from the best. And that brings me to the question of the involvement of diaspora in running government. It is my intention that we work together so that you are part of us and you become part of the decision-making process, so that we benefit from your experience in a country where things are working. To start with, the embassies across the world, it is my conviction that we'll get the best service, consular services, if you have people who have worked here in America for 30, 35 years running our embassies. Yeah? We would get the best investment opportunities if you have people who know what the Americans want in the embassy, because you know their strength, their weaknesses, their preferences, and where we can do business together. I mean, an ambassador serves for 4 years. So when you appoint a politician from Nairobi to come to Washington, he takes 1 year first to know his way around here. Exactly. True? True. First 1 year. Where do I take my children to school, hospital, nini, 1 year imeenda. Second year, start making friends with the Americans here. Imeisha. Mwaka ya tatu, kujua Wakenya wanakaa wapi. Before he can even now start working, he is on his final year. Isn't it? But if you have somebody who has stayed here for 30 years, already who was home, we simply walk to the office and start working without wasting any time. Ataletwa tu Nairobi, there is a course there, kufundishwa kukula na uma nini, already you know. Okay? So even that course you'll be exempted. Senor, you know, they come there, how to hold a wine glass, nini, what table manners, nini. So you guys, those things you already know. Yeah? So nafikiri, you only come for that course for 2 weeks to understand your reporting mechanism. How will you be working with the PS? How will you be working with the president? Those are the little things mtafundishwa wiki mbili tatu. But all the other things here, you know. Isn't it? So it's my intention. And that is a promise I'll keep. Because it costs me nothing other than good manners to keep that promise. You guys are already here. You have the papers. Mumesoma. You know the place. You know your way around. You know how to use a fork and a knife. Sasa iko shida gani? There's no problem. Number 2, I have said, I also want you guys to come to the National Assembly and help us make good laws. Yeah? I want you to come to the Senate and help us make good laws. I want you to come to the county assemblies and help us make good laws on devolution. So, I want to appeal to you, wale munaweza, mwende nyumbani, mupiganie viti. Lakini on top of that, we shall nominate one person from diaspora to go to the Senate, another one to go to the National Assembly. Yeah? And in the counties we are strong. At least every county assembly we have one person from diaspora to come and help us to make good laws for devolution. Because devolution is working out here. And we want to borrow from people who know. Again, we'll also want you to come and serve in the national government. Let us have 1 or 2 PSs, wako pale. Let us have a cabinet secretary, ako pale. Let us have people in parastatus. You guys have the necessary expertise and experience. And I think for any leader who wants to make a difference, it is foolish not to utilize the available capacity for the country. And you guys have all the necessary capacity to assist the president to run a country successfully. So these are things that we want to do, and we'll be able to help each other. Again, I said when I was in Texas that we'll have to add 2-3 consulates across this large country to help. I think asking everybody to go to Washington or Los Angeles is a bit too hectic. So we'll add 1 or 2 or 3. Again, we'll introduce mobile consular services so that we have people coming here for a month. They issue IDs, passports, and they go to another state. That is something we can be able to do so that we make it a bit reasonable and cheaper for you to access consular services by bringing the services where you are. I am a strong believer. I am a very strong believer that it is our business to take the government to the people, not the people to the government. It is us to take the government to the people. We will bring consular services to where you are, because that is the right way to do things. So, mimi sitaki nisidishe hapo. I want to say, because I've found a few questions that have been written here, I'll go through them and I answer them, because I believe in participation. I don't believe, like Kasongo, in praise and worship. You know, the government he runs is praise and worship. We have some very funny characters there. You know, whatever they are told by Kasongo, I don't know what happened to their brains. If the MP for Kikuyu is told by Kasongo, go and insult Pastor Dorcas, anaenda anachukua microphone na mtukana. I saw another lady from Murang'a. Anaambiwa na PA wa president. Anaparedi yeye mbele ya umati. Anaambiwa asunguke. I don't know kama mliona. Ati huyu mama si ako sawa. Si asunguke, muangalie vile anakaa. Anasunguka. Huyu mama si ukiwa na yeye kwa kitanda utaamuka vizuri. You saw that woman?
Yes.
You really wonder, What happened to our leaders? Ni kurogwa ama ni ujinga ama ni zote mbili? Eh? I can't understand. I don't understand what has happened to our leaders. Somebody ameuliza sijui ni nani, what is the game plan? You are impeached, so you won't run or otherwise. Nani ameuliza hiyo? Somebody ameuliza hiyo? Let me explain. Gachagua is a presidential candidate. And nothing stops me from running. The Kenya Constitution says the right to vie for office is absolute. And you can only be stopped from running if you have been convicted. And even if you have been convicted, you cannot be stopped unless you have exhausted all the available mechanisms of remedy. Last year, 2022, the Honorable John Wewe, before the elections, was convicted for 74 years for theft. You remember?
Yes, we do.
And he went to committee, and he was given bond pending appeal. He appealed to the Court of Appeal. And as the case was going on, the elections were there. And he went and ran, and nobody stopped him because you can't. And he won. Later on, the appeal went through, the conviction was quashed. Had he been denied a chance to run because of the conviction by the High Court, and then later on, he is let to go, his rights would have been violated. I underwent a very shambolic exercise at the National Assembly and Senate. Everybody knows there was nothing. People were paid. MPs were paid 500,000, senators were paid 10 million, haraka, Ruto paid them. And we went to court under Article 50. And Article 50 says, no man shall be condemned unheard, and the right to fair hearing is absolute. I did not get a chance to defend myself in the Senate. I was in hospital. I did not present my evidence. So this is a matter that will be dealt with by the courts, and in the fullness of the time we shall be vindicated. In the meantime, the matter is in the High Court. It has not even started. If it is go to the High Court, depending on the way it goes, if I win, the state can go to the Court of Appeal, the matter proceeds there. If I win again, they can go to Supreme Court, or vice versa. Until those mechanisms are exhausted, the Constitution of Kenya guarantees me the right to vie for office, and there is no law that can stop me from vying. Yeah? So, in fact, I'm supposed to fight for the impeachment to be quashed, and then I go back to office. But I'm not interested. I cannot serve under Kasongo, because he's a pathological liar, and I'm a truthful person. Me and him working together is like trying to mix water and oil. I'm not interested in going back to the office. I just want my rights to be granted and to be proven innocent, because there's nothing I've done that is wrong. And I just proceed with my life. I have no intention of going back to office. Even if the courts told me to go, I will not go. I'm not interested. So I want to assure you, nothing stops me from vying. And the people of Kenya know that. That's why you see I enjoy a lot of popularity, and I continue to seek for office. And God being faithful will get there. Now that you are teaming together, do you have a very strong candidate to face Ruto because we can't stand another 5 years of Ruto regime. Jackson. The second statement is true. We cannot stand another term of Ruto. Because if he is telling policemen to shoot people and he still wants our vote, what if we elect him and he doesn't need the vote? He'll shoot us himself. True or false? Yeah? Do we have a strong candidate to face William Ruto? What a question. Si niko hapa Jackson? Niko. We are there. Don't worry. We have a big team and we have agreed between me, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, Eugene Wamalwa, George Natebea, and Mother Karua. And anybody else who wants to join us, Ata Omtata, whoever, hatujafunga na hatuwezi funga. Kila mtu atafute kura zake. Tutakuja kuketi hapo nyuma. Tutoe mtu mo? One person. And me, I have committed publicly, and I want to repeat, that if that formula does not favor me, it favors Kalonzo, or Matiang'i, or Eugene, or Mother, or Natebea, or whoever, I, regarding Gachagua, and my supporters will support that person unconditionally. Lakini Mungu akisaidia ikuwe ni mimi, hiyo mtu nitakimbiza yeye kama baisikeli ya kuibiwa. So, plan for the upcoming generation and Gen Zs in matters concerning unemployment is true. We've got a plan. William Ruto says we have no plan. We have a plan. It's only we don't want to bother with him. Because why does he want to know our plan? Our plan first is to remove him. You know? And you guys will play a role. The way to create employment for our country is to create manufacturing as a pillar of economic intervention so that we can create jobs and widen the tax bracket. And one of the ways to do that is to give incentives to direct foreign investors and even you guys. We can say, for example, anybody who starts a factory in Kenya, or a cottage industry for that matter, we can give you 5-year grace period not to pay any tax so that we give you an incentive to come and start a factory home and create employment. And then we can collect money in the pay-as-you-earn from the employers. So we have got a good plan that we must encourage people to come and start factories, to start cottage industries. Again, we want to do a lot of expansion in agribusiness in northeastern Kenya, in northern Kenya, by having water for irrigation so that those farms become arable and they'll create a lot of employment. Again, we have a team of people now who are working on our manifesto, and in the fullness of time, you will be able to see what is that we have to offer. Banking for diaspora, I've already said. Health, food where using GMO, yeah. I think it was brought by William Ruto, and it's something that we are opposed to at home. We have our farms that we can do organic farming. We don't need GMO in Kenya. It's unnecessary, you know. And these are things that were done hurriedly without proper research, without looking what are the health implication and what is it for our country. Because we can produce enough food for our own consumption and surplus for export. We don't need to import GMO from America or from anywhere else. We'll do our own organic farming in Kenya. If elected, how would you deal with corruption? Paul Bogwa, I have said, we have to start from the top. And I think I have demonstrated to the people of Kenya that I'm not corrupt, and I cannot bed to corruption because I had the opportunity to do so. I was already on the eating table with William Ruto. He invited me, we eat together. I declined, and I lost a job for refusing to eat. So I don't think I can change. When I become president, I go back to the same table to start eating what I rejected. I think we want to live like America here. Live on your sweat. Just work hard, earn an honest pay, and live well and honorably and fulfilling life. There is somebody here who wrote, I don't understand what he meant. Dicho, you said, if yes, how often do you check on each other? If no, since when did he become your enemy, John Dicho? What do you mean by that? Refer to?
As your friend. Is it still your friend?
Who? You know what happens? You know what happens? Ruto, by the way, is not my enemy. He's the enemy of the Kenyan people. Yeah? What normally happens when you are talking at our level, you are just decent. You refer somebody as my friend, as my brother, but not necessarily because he's your friend. It's just etiquette. Yeah? It's just etiquette. I have no enemy. I have no issue. I am not vengeful, but I'm responsible. William Ruto is not my enemy. He's the enemy of the Kenyan people. And the Kenyan people will have to deal with him in a decent manner through the ballot. Yeah? So there's nothing personal. There are no hard feelings. It's simply about our country that we cannot allow it to go to the dogs. And we need to get rid of him. Why do we keep sending money so easily and yet we can't vote from the comfort of our beds using our gadgets? How come you keep on saying you understand the ground and yet when we want to run for a political position from here, it is a problem? How are you going to reconcile these issues? We'll have to develop our electoral process, but it takes time. The voting here is electronic. It's a democracy spanning over several hundred years. Our democracy is 61 years, 62. We keep on improving every day. We haven't yet reached there where we could go electronic. Mostly our people, the rural population, quite a bit of illiteracy and sub-illiteracy, but we are getting there. With time, I'm sure, in years to come, we'll go fully electronic so that you can, as you say, food from your bed. Yeah, but tutaenda pole pole so that we get there. Again, we are going to lobby IBC to increase the voting polling stations here in the States because, as you have said, it's very expensive to go to Los Angeles, to go to Washington, to go to New York. IBC is independent. I cannot give a commitment in totality, but all I can promise is that we are going to lobby them to increase the stations. We have a very vibrant constitution, and when you were in office, some goons went to the Kenyatta's farm, but unfortunately nobody was apprehended and taken to court. What happened? Mine aware is true. Kenyatta's farm was attacked, and some people were even trying to blame me. And I just kept quiet because Uhuru Kenyatta knows he was president of the Republic of Kenya. Issues to do with a retired president, his welfare, his security, his allowances, his travels are dealt with by nobody else other than the sitting president. There is nobody who could have attacked Kenyatta's farm without the knowledge and the concurrence of the sitting president. Rigathi Gachagua has never been president. Yeah? And it was something that was being done so that they can make us, the leaders from the mountain, fight each other. Yeah? His security was withdrawn, that of his mother, and they were trying to say, no, he's the deputy president who ordered the withdrawal of the security of President Kenyatta. How? There's nobody. Even today here in the US, matters to do with the former presidents will be dealt by the president himself. Even the Retirement Benefits Act for retired presidents is administered by the Controller of State House. Yeah. So what happens if Kasongo ever comes here? You direct that question to him. He'll be able to give you an answer. James White, how will the new Kenyan administration address historical injustices so that the country can move forward? It's true. I said yesterday in an interview that was done by Jerry that we already have a commission on restorative justice. And when we form government, we'll appoint a judicial commission of inquiry to inquire into the killings of the Gen Zs and other people who have been killed and harmed, so that those who did it can be brought to book and they can be given compensation. Peter Mongai, which formula will you use to select your flag bearer, considering the flag bearer must be acceptable? Hiyo sasa ndio kadi yetu. Tukitoa hiyo si tumeisha. So hiyo hatuwezi sema sahi. But there will be a good formula, and I can tell you we'll come up with a good candidate. And we are not in a hurry. For now, our candidate is Ruto must go, and our plan is one term. Because if we announce our candidate now, Kasongo atatusumbua sana. Hata mwekea vikwazo na kumsumbua na kumtatiza. So wacha tukae namna hiyo. Our candidate for today is Ruto must go, and our plan is one term. Wacha angangane na Ruto must go, na angangane na one term for now. Yeah? And that's why he keeps on saying, where is your plan? So that he can start attacking it. Yeah? Hey, mimi napingana na nani? Unapingana na Ruto must go. There is so much looting of e-citizen, that one I've already answered. I've told you, you are asking what will happen about recovering money that has been stolen. This money will be recovered, I can tell you. You have seen a listing that happened in 2003. The High Court has ordered that those people must be tried. So I want to put on notice those who are still stealing public funds, including what is being used by Soprano to bribe people, will have to be paid. Yeah, and this money will be recovered. What are you doing to mobilize voters to register for elections, especially the youth and the people who are here to register to vote? We just continue public education, advocacy, and appealing to them, and I want you to help me. Call home, find out whether your young brothers and sisters have registered, and urge them. We continue to do that, and asking our parents that if they don't register, that is a vote for Kasongo. So that we continue doing. What is the solution to be executed immediately after the government is removed from power, so as to save unemployment situation in the first year? Employment imesema tayari. What is your vision to achieve more equitable distribution of resources and positions and overall more fair society? You know, resources must follow people. I believe in a very fair formula to distribute resources, with population being a very important factor, followed by poverty index so that we have fairness and equity. So once we follow the principle of population as a basis for resource distribution, you get a lot of fairness. But we also take into consideration areas that have been marginalized and with a very high poverty index so that they get some rebate so that they are also not left behind. What are you guys doing to agencies into believing there is a plan beyond one term? Francis Chege, we continue to engage the agencies. This morning, I talked to about 100 agencies on phone, and agencies are aligned that we don't just want them to vote for us and we do things for them. We want them to be part of the decision-making process by coming to the table so that we get solutions together. And I can tell you, they are believing us because, like when I fought for them, when Ruto was killing them, they believed me. Anytime I talk to them, they listen to me because I've already demonstrated my respect for them and concern for them. Now the IBC commissioners have been put in place. How do you ensure elections not a repeat of 2022? That is Lucy. It's true. We continue to engage and we'll create enough mechanisms to make sure that we have quality agents. The veracity of an election is determined by the quality of agents in every polling station. It's very difficult to interfere with an election because when votes are cast and counted in the polling station results are final. That is where you must have good agents to make sure that all the activities around the polling station are above board. The rest in Nairobi is a purely mathematical exercise of adding numbers, but the polling station results are final. So what we are investing in is quality agents, and in my party, the DCP, I'll work with agencies so that they are very alert and they can also assist us in documenting through their smartphone on Form 34A so that the outcome of the results is well captured and stored. Thank you very much. I think those were the questions. Yeah. I think we have time. Finally, we belong to the citizens for democracy, DCP, Democracy for the Citizens Party, DCP, and I invite you to become active members and support that party as your party by preaching its ideology and availing resources to support your party. You know, I saw some fellows back home saying, oh, huyu mtu ameenda huko kutafuta dollars. Sasa hii chama yenu, mimi sina pesa ya kuiba kama Kasongo to run our party. Even here in America, you know, all parties here, even the presidential election is supported by the members, isn't it? So we are also asking you to support that party because we want a party that is homegrown with support from its members so that when we get into government, there are no businessmen who are coming to demand tenders to pay themselves for what they contributed. So please support the party. It's a good party. It's a national party. And it's not a mountain party. The deputy party leader is Cleo Malala from Kakamega. The secretary general is Hezron Obanga from Kisii. The national chairperson is Paria from Kajiado. The deputy chairperson is Owino from Kisumu. The treasurer is Mukali from Machakos. Deputy secretary general is Ole Kamwaro from Narok. And like that. Again, out of 34 members of the national executive, 9 agencies. So we are well represented. It's a national party, and I want to request you to be very active here in Midwest. This is your party. We'll form the government together, and we are serious partners. And I want to continue with this engagement. I'll come again when I have sufficient time so that we spend more time. But I want to say I feel loved, I feel well taken care of, and I believe I have answered the issues that were of concern to you, have I? Yeah? Can I ask Pastor Dorcas to come and say hi? I believe in very strong family values as the basis for a strong nation. And that is why I walk around with my wife, because you must lead by example. There is no way as a leader you'll say you believe in very strong family values and you don't lead by example. And many people who are uncomfortable of the support I'm getting back home from families, because families are supporting me because they are saying Ricky G has shown us he believes in strong family values. That is why they like Pastor not to be seen with me, so that I lose that advantage that I'm having from families. They are wasting their time. Yeah? So I'll continue, and I also want to ask you to have strong families as a basis of having a strong nation. Pastor Dorcas.
Thank you very much, the People's Deputy President, the committee that has put together this event, and ladies and gentlemen, and our children who are here. I can see you're already getting hungry. And you know, I'm a pastor, we could kesha. Now, I want to say just a few things. I'll only take a few minutes. If God loves you very much, there are things He's going to give you. One of them is a listening ear. The other thing He's going to give you is a seeing eye. When you can be able to hear, you can hear the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is actually the voice of God. You can also see the suffering of the people, and by seeing the suffering of the people, your conscience is pricked so that you can change the conditions of the people. Now, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You have just heard from the truthful man. And the truthful man has a wife who also supports him to speak the truth. Because the moment you speak the truth does not have two colors. It has only one color. You cannot kill the truth. You can hide the truth. But eventually, the truth will come out and you'll be vindicated. And that's why you must always stand for the truth. In Kenya right now, we thrive in many things. And one of the things I think people are revolting against is listening to lies, deception, and some of the things that are abhorring the whole world when we speak one thing and do the other. As a pastor, I know very well that the commandments form the substratum of every constitution of the world. And one of the things that we must abide by is respecting the sanctity of human life. Whether it is in the womb of a mother and when it is produced, and we can see the reality of it. Now, shooting the leg amounts to killing our children. As a mother, I say no. We cannot stand and not speak about it and speak like it is not happening. When you say shoot the leg, what do you mean? Many of you are working with the health sector. If you are shot in the leg, can you die? Yes. If you are shot in the head, can you die?